Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. Well, dawn, yeah, well, not so much dawn, more like nighttime with this pretend time that we have daylight savings times. Yeah, gonna save daylight. We're gonna save the environment. We're gonna save the earth. Okay, well, what will those government people think of next? Here is Douhans. Well, let me show the first one first. Sorry about that. Here is Jameson Caskmates Stout Edition. It was introduced about 10 years ago, something like that. I can't get a date on it. Could never find a date, but something like that. If anybody can give me definitive information, I'd appreciate it, but I've not seen anything on their website to talk about when it was introduced. Green bottle, better than clear. At least it protects it from the sun better than a clear bottle. Brown would be even better, but protects it from the light. But anyway, what makes this different from Jameson? The cask. That's why I call it Caskmates. They're aging it in ex-stout beer barrels. Who's stout beer? We don't know. They don't say. It may not be any particular brand. Maybe they just bought a bunch of barrels from random stout brands and they figured that would work. I don't know. Here is Douhans. Blended Irish whiskey, triple distilled as usual. Bought this at Walmart. It was like $20, $19.99. Then about 2 weeks later, it dropped to $9. So I didn't benefit from that discount. And why did they drop it to $9? Because they were getting rid of it. And they sold all of them. They used to come in a box, like a nice whiskey comes in a box sometimes. And they got rid of it and never seen again. First saw this around 2018 when I believe it was introduced. But and they had a website, Rebel Spirits. They had a website with all the different products they carried. And but then something happened and their website was shut down. And then this product is gone. So I think it just went under, probably some startup company, and they paid people to make different products, but the sales just weren't there. I don't know that, but I get the feeling that that's what happened. Okay. You have other California companies that do this. Now look in the background. There's like a crown with a throne. I don't know why, because Ireland has a president, not a king, but I guess it looks pretty or something. Okay. Ireland cut all ties with the British monarchy in 1949. Ended all their legal connections, so totally broke away. But they still, well, I mean, why should I ask about that? They got Kentucky whiskeys with a crown on it, like it's some royal thing. And I'm like, uh-huh. But I guess in beer, wine, and liquor, you could put anything on it, right? Anything acceptable. Some people like to do unacceptable. I have a feeling I know where this is made because it's got the same exact cap, product of Ireland, same exact cap design as another Irish whiskey I have. Yeah, but of course that doesn't mean anything either, because it could just be a standard cap that different companies buy. You see what I'm saying? Could come from a supplier that just makes whiskey bottles for any Irish company and caps. So I'm thinking, yeah, it must be from the same company because it's got the same cap. But then I'm also thinking maybe it's just a standard cap that some supplier sells in Ireland. It has nothing to do with any particular distillery. So there's another mystery. Another mystery to me is how I got Jameson Caskmates confused with two other whiskeys the last two challenges. Two in a row, mid-season, mid-tournament, I start to fail. And I was getting it right. I mean, I was like, oh, I got it right. 5 times straight. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to get it wrong again. But then I start worrying, maybe it won't be as easy as I had first believed. And it isn't. One thing we have to consider, it is cooling off down here in Louisiana. We're getting it only up to about 89 in the afternoon, 88, 89. Overnight it gets down to like 67. Yeah, that's our fall, 89. Okay, was better than 103, like when the summer was in its peak of misery with that heat dome. Not normal for Louisiana. We usually don't get that hot. And people are going to say, it's the climate. It's the climate. Top of the morning, Louisiana Liquor Reviews. Top of the morning to you, Tommy. It's the climate. This summer was unusually hot. This one summer of the last 50, that's a pattern. Once is a pattern. Mm-hmm. The Douhans is much lighter. The Jameson is dark. Is that from the stout barrel or is that from coloring at it? Well, now I don't know. Now, could the Douhans be color naturally, like so pale? Yeah, I think it could be. They may not be adding any coloring. I mean, it's nearly straw. We know it's aged at least 3 years in oak, but that doesn't mean much because all Irish whiskey, at a minimum, must be aged 3 years in oak. That's the law. That's the law. Does Irish whiskey have to be any particular grain mix up? No. It has to be whole grains, I think I read on the Government of Ireland website. You understand, like actual barley or actual maize, or as we call it here in the United States, corn, not corn syrup. That was what I was gathering from that, whole grains. Now, could you make a whiskey from corn syrup? This I do not know. I am not a scientist. I am not a dietitian, and I am not a distiller. I don't know what dietitian would have to do it, but you know, no, I mean, I don't know. You may know. I don't know. And when I don't know, I'll say, I don't know. I don't try to act like I know stuff I don't know. It's something in history. Somebody says, well, you study history. You used to teach history for college and high school, university level and high school. What happened with this? And if I don't know, I'm going to say, I never heard of that battle, Good thing about history, you can look it up. You can research it. Okay. All right. These are both from the Irish Republic, the part of Ireland that has their own president. It's not from the British-controlled part, Northern Ireland. Ireland is one of those countries cut into two pieces because of political issues. Ireland cut into two pieces. Virginia split into two. Virginia, West Virginia, because of political problems. We could call it that. Cyprus Island cut into two pieces because of ethnic problems, not really politics so much. Two groups of people don't get along at all, have been fighting for over 1,000 years. Well, sorry, over 500 years. Well, really over 1,000 because Well, let's see. Manzikert, Battle of Manzikert, 1071. Well, close to 1,000 years, not quite 1,000. Korea divided into because of geopolitical problems. China in two pieces because of geopolitical problems. China and the Republic of China, communist part and non-communist. You know what I'm talking about. American Samoa versus the other Samoa. One place, Samoan Islands, two pieces, geopolitical. Virgin Islands. So we have these examples. There used to be two. There used to be two Floridas. Why? Well, it was just so big. They cut it in two to make it easier to run it. Wasn't because of political problems. It was just it was too big. So they had West Florida and East Florida, and they had their own capital cities, their own administration, and everything. That'd have been cool if they'd have kept it like that, huh? They had two Floridas, North Dakota, South Dakota, same thing. They divided it up because it's just too big. They said, well, it's too big. Make two parts. Wasn't political issues, just too big. And then it'd be easier to run it. Each the northern part have their own governor, southern part their own governor, and that was fine. That worked out very nicely. Okay. And so sometimes it's for a good reason, and then sometimes the countries are divided because of a bad reason. This one has more of a twang to it, and I have to close my eyes because one is darker, and if I see it's darker, I'm gonna know it's the Jameson. That's not gonna be a fair taste challenge. This one has the twang, and I think that's because of the stout barrel for the Caskmates Stout Edition. I think. I don't know. I got it wrong 2 in a row. The last 2 challenges, Sunday and Monday. So I'm not confident. I am not confident. If you see Douhans, and you probably won't, because like I said, I think it's got the kibosh, it's kaput. But well, you might find it, and it'll probably be $20. And if you find Jameson, it'll be $30 to $32. Now, is it going to be? I'm talking about the Caskmates Stout Edition. Is it really going to be $12 better? I doubt that, but we're going to find out right about now. Cheers. The Netherlands is another country that got cut into pieces because of ethnic problems, religious problems, and political problems. Three reasons. Political, actually 4 reasons. Dynastic, political, ethnic, and religious issues. True story. The Netherlands got broken into three separate countries. Bet you didn't know that. Well, maybe you knew that. You might have known that. All right. Okay, I think I have this. Alcohol won't matter because they both 40%. The aging won't matter because they both probably 3 years. Maybe the Caskmates is longer. They don't indicate that though. Nowhere on it they talk about it's extra age. All they said was they aged in oak. Old stout barrels. Has to be oak. That's the law. Could be any kind of oak. Got to be oak. Okay. Regular Jameson's age 4 years though. Some people say no age statement, and if you look at the bottle, right, no age statement on the bottle. That is technically correct. But if you look at their website, it says it's age 4 years. So in reality, saying it's a no age stated whiskey would be incorrect because it is age 4 years. Okay, at least 4 years. and probably not a day longer. But anyway, maybe one day longer. But anyhow, um, this is the stout edition. I think it is. I really do. Is it better? Yeah, it's a little bit better. I think it's a little bit better. Got it. Let's keep it at 2 losses. All right. I want 6. Now I'm at 6 wins, right? I have to go back and look at the video. But I think it's 6 wins, 2 losses. Not a great record, but not terrible. Could be 2 wins and 6 losses, which that wouldn't be terrible. Louisiana Liquor Reviews. Do you feel like America has begun a decline? Yes, but I don't know what way you mean that. There's many ways you could look at it, so I'm not sure what you just mean in general. Yes, but that probably started before it did start before I was born, but so it's been over 50 years of a down slope. But I don't know quite what you're talking about. Okay, now let me see something. See what it looks like if I change the lamp to a different. See, this is the yellowish light. The other one is the bright. I don't know which light is better. Maybe you could tell me. I don't know. They got soft light and loud light, whatever, on these lamps. I'm not a lighting expert, but I've used lights over the years. Drewski Brewski says, cheers. Cheers to you. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And now for my next trick. Sorry, that was a lead in, but I didn't have anything to follow it up with. It tastes like regular Jameson, honestly, because that's what it is, tweaked with the stout barrel. Now, if you really want to pay $10 extra, let's say $8 extra, probably more like $8. If you really want to pay $8 extra for a tweak, you go right ahead and you do that. I would not do that, and I did not do that because this bottle was given to me. Thank you, David. He found it for $4.99, half-size bottle. I'll repeat that, $4.99. Amazing price. Not an amazing product, but it's certainly in the A range. Now, see, that's where some people get confused watching these videos. They'll say, you said it was an A, most excellent, but then you're going to turn around and say it's not amazing. That's right, because there's nothing amazing about a liquor or a beer or a wine being an A. They got a lot of good companies that know what they're doing, okay? So I don't know why that's amazing to you. Okay, that's not amazing. I don't know why that would be. It's a big company, Irish Distillers. They distill whiskey all day, every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every week of the year. That's all they do. That's all they've done since 1780. But now it's at their 17. But now it's at their new distillery, their new 51-year-old distillery. Well, it's new because the old one was from 1780. But that's not amazing. That should be expected, really. Should be amazing. Should be expected. You a big distilling company, you make whiskey, or you're a big brewery, you make beer. Your beer should be an A. I shouldn't be tasting this B beer. You say, well, B means good. Yeah, I know it means good, but I paid A price. Beer's expensive. Everything's expensive thanks to U.S. government monetary incompetence since 1913. So, with their magic money policy, it's not magic, but they want you to think it is. So, perception is reality. Louisiana Liquor Reviews. I was thinking in the context of the Holy Roman Empire and the Greeks. The Holy Roman Empire and the Greeks. I mean, that I'm not sure what that means either, because the Holy Roman Empire was, you know, doing all right until France invaded them, and conquered them in the early 1800s. So I mean, it, if that wouldn't happen in 1806, maybe it would have continued on. Maybe they'd be around today, and maybe they would have never had a World War I or World War II, because Germany would have not been uh, united under Prussia, and it would have led to, this thing we had. All right, so I don't know. The Greeks, well, they had their own empire. They ruled Greece itself, and they had Anatolia, which was always really kind of like part of Greece. Asia Minor, Little Asia, many islands like Cyprus, and what you call like outposts in what we today call Ukraine and Russia along the Black Sea. They had outposts all around Lebanon and everything. And then they got attacked also by a very violent group of people, and they were destroyed in 1453. So were they in decline? Well, it depends how you look at that. You see, they had also been attacked by the Western countries very ruthlessly in 1204. So, hey, let's say that wouldn't have happened. Maybe the Roman Empire would still be around. The Greek Empire, as they called it, but it was the Roman. It was a continuation of it was the Roman Empire. Constantine the 11th, last emperor. But most of the people at that point that lived there were Greek. Meaning they might have put the official documents in Latin, but that was just a language of officials, government officials. It wasn't a language of the common people. They all spoke Greek. And the Eastern Empire, Eastern section, continued, and so they, who knows, could still be around today if they hadn't been attacked and destroyed. So it's hard to say these, it's hard to say. Now the United States, but you ask, in decline like them, I don't know. There's nobody invading us, It's not like we're being invaded by France or being invaded by the Ottoman Turks. You say, what about Texas, the southern? Well, that's a different thing now. Certainly a serious problem. Anyway, Douhans, 1999. So yeah, it's not really any cheaper than other Irish whiskeys, just obscure. There's always obscure brands. Some people think automatically they're going to be bad. Oh, it's an off. They're calling it an off brand, and I think that word is used as a negative. What that means is just a brand that's not common. But it doesn't mean it's bad. It's just not common. They got brands of jelly and jam that I've never heard of. Are they good or bad? I don't know. I didn't try them. They might be fine. It's just an obscure small company. Louisiana Liquor Reviews. Do you think that we're being invaded at the southern border? That's obvious. Obvious. It's not a military invasion, but it's obvious it's a civilian invasion. Is it by design? Well, now we don't want to get into all of that, but yeah, yes and no, but mostly yes. All right. Anyway, thanks everybody, and it's like we say, tragedy by design. Thanks for watching, and see y'all tomorrow for another. For another taste challenge.